Namaskar, welcome to National Perspective. On 25th July 2022, Shrimati Droupadi Murmu has taken over as the President of India, the 15th President of India. It is certainly a historic day. 10th consecutive President of India has taken over the charge on 25th July. And that itself shows the strength and the vibrancy of Indian democracy. But beyond that, there is much more symbolism and substance involved in Droupadi Murmu becoming the President of India. Today, we are going to discuss the message and meaning of Droupadi Murmu becoming the President. As we know, Rashtrapati is the highest constitutional position as per the Indian Constitution. Droupadi Murmu comes from a Santhal community. Santhal, one of the most marginalized tribal communities of Odisha. Now, I see her reaching up to the Rashtrapati Bhavan as three important connotations, meanings. And in that sense, this is a historic moment. First of all, we need to understand that the scheduled tribes of India, globally there is a discourse about indigenous rights. Even Pope Francis has recently apologized to Canadian indigenous communities for the abuses incurred by church on them. If we see the history, wherever these European colonizers went, the entire indigenous population was almost finished. Their culture, their religious practices, their association with the nature, everything got crushed. India is a unique land. In Bharat, in fact, the British faced the maximum resistance by Bhils, Santhals, Kols, Khasis in the northeast, Nagas, because they never accepted the European colonization. They resisted British for what they popularly called as Jal Jameen Jungle, but beyond that, their identity, their religious practices, their beliefs. And therefore, when we see the entire trajectory of this particular Santhal community, like for example, if we look back in the pages of history, then we can easily understand that much before 1857, many tribal communities resisted the British aggression. For instance, in 1855-56, two Santhal brothers, Sidhu and Kanu Murmu, organized 10,000 Santhals and proclaimed almost a revolution against the British occupation. They took oath to drive away the British from their homeland. The Murmu sisters, Phulo and Jhano Murmu, along with Murmu brothers, played an active role in this revolt. Santhals fiercely fought for the honor, and almost 10,000 of them sacrificed their lives. I believe Droupadi Murmu becoming President of India when we are attaining 75 years of independence is a real tribute to all these freedom fighters, heroes and icons of our freedom struggle. There is a second important message. Post-independent period, unfortunately, the colonial legal psyche, intellectual thinking continued, and we almost kept the scheduled tribes out of our mainstream. There also certain thinking, certain ideologies took benefit of it and ingrained certain ideas related to separatism. Whether Maoist violence or missionary conversion, both of them took benefit of this state-sponsored alienation of scheduled tribes. And therefore, we see right from Telangana to Naxalbari to Chhattisgarh to Jharkhand, there is almost a kind of corridor that has developed, which is popularly known as Red Corridor. I believe this announcement of Srimati Droupadi Murmu at the position of Rashtrapati of Bharat is a tight slap on those ideological agendas which actually were inspired by the Breaking India forces. So this is the second important meaning. As far as the constitutional scheme is concerned, President of India has certain positions, certain authorities, entire government run as per the constitutional scheme of things, as per the advice of the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. That is not going to change. Srimati Droupadi Murmu becoming President is not going to change the lives of each and every tribal. And everyone knows this. But still, this symbolism is important simply because the third reason I believe is Droupadi Murmu symbolizes a self-made woman of India. After taking over as the President of India in her maiden speech, Srimati Droupadi Murmu remembered 4 women from our freedom struggle. It was Velu Nachiyar from Tamil Nadu, Rani Chennamma from Karnataka, Rani Lakshmi Bai, and Rani Ma Gandilyu from Nagaland. Now, all these women actually symbolizes the bravery and the role of women in Indian society. Like Srimati Droupadi Murmu, most of them had lost their husbands. They did not have family support. They didn't carry the dynastic lineage. They were self-made and still they created their own position. The beauty of Indian democracy, the beauty of the constitutional scheme of things that exist in India, that every common man can aspire to be at the highest constitutional position. Suddenly, with Srimati Droupadi Murmu taking over as the President of India, we have reduced this distance of what Mahatma Gandhi called as the last man standing or Deen Dayal ji called as Antyodaya. The last man standing can suddenly believe that he or she can go up to the highest constitutional position. And that message of Indian democracy is very critical. And therefore, I believe that Srimati Droupadi Murmu becoming president is not just a message for the tribal community. Yes, we have seen the celebrations all over India and even some surrounding countries, especially among the tribal communities. That is obviously inspirational. and aspirational. But much beyond that, that is a message for entire India and the humanity at large, that Indian democracy symbolizes the upward mobility for everyone who is ready to work hard to get over their personal problems and work for the larger society, and they have a space in this democratic process. And therefore, Srimati Droupadi Murmu's elevation to the Rashtrapati Bhavan is not just symbolic. There is a major substance involved in it. There is a message for destructive forces like Maoism. There is a resurrection of aspirations of tribals who fought for their land and their identity even during the freedom struggle. This is a tribute to those freedom fighters, and of course this is a message for everyone that every common Indian has equal opportunity to be part of this larger democratic process. So I hope this makes some sense, and in this edition of National Perspective, you got to know about the meaning and the message of Droupadi Murmu becoming President of India. Thank you. Keep watching our YouTube channel, Organiser Weekly. Like, support and share our videos in your groups, to your friends, and join the nationalist narrative that goes beyond news. Namaskar.